friends, Renee here. I'm beginning to think of what I'm talking about these days as being my great goddess experiment. Getting to know my goddess, getting to relate to her from a place of intention. Um, I wanted to talk today a little bit how I have gotten intentional around this. Um, I have always been someone who has really not thought of myself as creative in any way. And creativity seemed to be something that was available to artists and not available to me. I never thought of myself as being someone artistic or creative in any way. And yet, in this great kind of goddess experiment that I've been doing, I've been getting more intentional about connecting with my goddess and shifting from that kind of that we call it the godlike or the masculine like energy of pushing outward, exerting force to get things done, exerting force to create and shifting to more how can I create from the place of the feminine? And so, what I've started to do over the course of the last week, as have looked at my day, I have said, like, what of those things that I've got to do today, the things that I want to accomplish today, what kind of energy do those things need? And if I've got a bunch of status things, things with my corporate work, things that are very execution oriented, I'll try and chunk those into a space in the day and and really get conscious about shifting into that masculine driving energy. I'm going to have my to-do list and I'm going to conquer my way through that portion of my day. I've always been very good at that and I've never had to give it much intentionality. I can go there in a heartbeat, get things done. It's a whole different world when I want to write, when I want to write a blog, when I want to create content for a video, when I want to practice the piano, which is something I've just picked up in this year and made it kind of a focus for the year. I'm making two kind of personal focuses this year, learning to play the piano well enough that I can play with songwriting, which is something I've always wanted to try, and continuing to learn to speak French. It's long since my entire life been a goal to be bilingual in French, and um, 1 year of high school French was not nearly enough. And so I picked it up a couple of years ago and worked at it for a while and then stepped away and it came back to it in the last year. But it really gave me pause to then start to think about which is the better energy to go at this with. I had been, for instance, kind of treating my French as just another item on my to do list to, like, okay, this is the time I need to spend practicing and speaking and writing and learning words and phrases today. And once I accomplish that time and do those exercises, I'll just check that off my list. But then I wondered, how more effective could I be if I approached that French lesson from being in my feminine, from being in my that energy of allowing and receiving. And I'm actually finding it to be a little bit more beneficial, that learning a language may actually have a little bit more uh, feminine leaning energy. That energy of allowing and receiving may be more um, uh, or maybe a better approach to learn a language from. Jury's still out. I have just in the last week been applying this kind of strategy of shifting into my feminine, but I feel like my pronunciation is getting a little bit better. I'm not tripping over my tongue as much. Um, so we'll see in time. I'm also applying it to my uh, learning the piano, which is something that's brand new for me. And I got myself a digital keyboard at Christmas time and have just been practicing some chords as I've researched apps on which kind of apps might be a good place to start before I might, after COVID, be able to take some in-person lessons. Um, but using that feminine energy to um, be in that creative space of picking up, even though there's kind of a doingness to it, but allowing the learning to be absorbed, to allow it to be received within me. Um, so far, it feels to me like I'm making more progress than in the first couple of weeks when I was just treating it as another thing on my to-do list of, being able to intentionally call in the feminine, like really get in touch with my body, get into my senses, and then approach the creative task that I want to do from that place, from that feminine place. So, um, so far, so good. I am really pleased and noticing a difference. And I could just be noticing my own kind of feeling of being more centered in myself as I approach something new. That could be it. Or it could be that the shift in the energy and getting myself out of my head may actually be opening me up to receiving what I'm learning or what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to experiment with this one. But how would you feel if you really put some intentional energy into what energy do you want to be in as you take something on in your day, and really question that, and live through your day consequently, from a place of being more intentional. um, I would love to hear your feedback. We'll see how this continues to go. Um, as always, if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you join in. Um, we'll leave links below to my latest free event. I'm always hosting free events along the way as I build content and classes, exploring inner wisdom using our writing wisdom practice. This coming up class is called Meet Your Goddess. We are writing in and introducing ourselves to that goddess energy, that receiving, allowing, being energy, and getting more acquainted with it and building a relationship with it. And then I have a 12-week free class, or a 12-week paid class called Free the Goddess, where we're going to dive even deeper into all areas of this goddess energy. Everything from self-love and self-respect, and treating ourselves as divine, and to sensuality and sexuality and intimacy, and all of our relationships with the goddess showing up fully present, fully at the table. So I'm really excited about this series. It's making tremendous changes in my own life as I reconnect and build this relationship to my own goddess, and really get a whole new set of superpowers from this practice. So I'll leave those links below. and have a great day. Bye.